We will continue our conversation today. Today I'm going to talk to you about the meaning of treatment. In general, we will analyze the understanding of treatment. And this understanding should be based on the subtle energy body, physical body, mental body, spiritual body. A person has different bodies, therefore there are different types of treatment. They are designed for different purposes. The first thing you should know is that we have an internal subtle structure in our body that controls all the external functions of the body. And this structure can be compared to the layers of a nesting doll. A nesting doll has layers, and our internal subtle structure has 7 main layers, 7 large layers, each of which is divided into 2 leaves, as we will call it. 7 layers are divided into 2 leaves, inner and outer. These layers are designed to give energy to internal organs. Energy flows through them. This can be compared to a highway on which cars move. If it is blocked, the car will not reach its destination and functions will not be carried out there. That means products won't arrive at the destination, people who should work won't arrive there, and so the city comes to a standstill without roads. Without roads, a city cannot live. Roads are needed to deliver life, to bring life energy to various destinations. Now be attentive. I'm going to tell you an important thing. All chronic diseases that last for a long time indicate that in the subtle energy body, in these channels, in these layers, you have an energetic blockage, like a traffic jam on the road. There is some blockage, some obstacle in the movement of energy, but it is not completely blocked, because a complete energetic blockage means death. Energy still flows, but it flows worse, weaker, which eventually leads to chronic diseases. And any chronic disease, whatever you name, means that the predisposition to this blockage in this place has existed in your body since birth. There is not a single chronic disease that would not have a predisposition from birth, and in general, out of these 7 layers, 3 have a predisposition to chronic diseases. But since there are outer and inner leaves, therefore there are 4 disease sheets in total, but 3 layers. On one leaf there are 2 layers at once. In one layer there are inner and outer leaves, which are diseased. Everyone has them. For example, on my layer of mental functions, both the inner and outer leaves are diseased. This means that my mental activity leads to fatigue quickly. But as you see, I work a lot mentally. This is already the result of my healthy lifestyle. I practice yoga for an hour and a half every day, swim in the sea, trying to recover. But in general, my most difficult fate resides in mental functions, in the nervous system and mental functions. Every person has such a disorder. In general, the first leaf, the outermost, is associated with the skin and mucous membranes. The second leaf is associated with internal and external blood circulation. The third one is associated with internal and external muscles. The fourth is associated with body tissues. External means adipose tissues, and internal means tissues of internal organs. This is the 4th leaf. The 5th leaf is associated with the skeletal system and joints. External part means arms and legs, and the internal part, the spine and head. The 6th leaf is associated with the nervous system. The internal nervous system is the brain, spinal cord, and so on, and the external nervous system is the innervation of all external organs, skin, eyes, and so on. And the 7th leaf is associated with hormonal functions, internal hormonal function and external. Everything related to our external activities with hormonal function is related to activities inside the body. Thus, the deepest health leaf is hormonal functions. The deeper the leaf is located, the harder it is to treat. If it's located deeper, it's more difficult to deliver healing energy there. The skin is the easiest to treat because you apply something on it and the skin is already being treated from the outside. Blood is already harder to treat. It's harder to apply something deeper and reach it. And accordingly, the outer leaves are more prone to diseases. For example, skin and blood are more quickly subjected to diseases, while the inner, deep ones are less subjected to diseases. In this regard, children mainly suffer from diseases of skin, intestines, stomach, something external, and they can also be treated quickly. But if a person's deep functions suffer, like the nervous system since childhood, then this can lead to disruption of deep processes in the body, dementia, and so on. Now, how to treat these blocked highways? There are only a few methods that rejuvenate the body. This is the rejuvenation of the body. We treat chronic diseases and rejuvenate the body. The first method is the simplest. This is fasting. It rejuvenates the body, cleansing these highways. Next are static exercises. We don't move, meaning we practice some stationary position of the body. What is the principle of rejuvenation? Let's say I do bendings. I bend when I'm relaxed, When I relax more, I bend more. I get more relaxed, I bend even more. I don't force myself to bend. I'm constantly getting used to bending, more and more. I need 15 minutes to bend forward completely, to do a complete forward fold. But first I sit. At first I sit like this. It's even difficult for me to sit like this because two channels are disturbed in my body. One is related to the internal muscular system. This is also related to the spine muscles. And the second is related to the internal skeletal system. It is related to the spine. Therefore, my spine is rigid in the morning. When I get up, it hardly bends. But I'm not a sick person. The channels just work hard, and I speed them up. That means I need 15 minutes to bend forward. I do a complete forward fold. And at first I sit like this. I can't even bend forward. I relax more and more, and in 15 minutes I do a complete forward fold. And then I also bend backwards. I do the bridge pose too. I can't do it at first, but I progress little by little, and suddenly I'm in the bridge pose. It takes 15 minutes. So I need an hour and a half to do these bending exercises, and I become a healthy, strong person as a result. This is Hatha Yoga. It cleanses the energy channels, tones them up, and gives them strength. This rejuvenating method is in second place after fasting. The third method is breathing exercises with breath retention. It's called pranayama, the most difficult of all methods. You need to undergo special training to learn how to do breath retention. This method is for mentally strong people who can cleanse energy channels using their willpower and breath retention. This is the most difficult method, and it's hard to implement. It's fraught with all kinds of difficulties if a person does it incorrectly, if they don't learn it seriously. The next method of cleansing the body, which breaks through the energy channels, is panchakarma. What is this method? This is a medical method. A person can't do it on their own. This method is based on rubbing a lot of oil in the skin. A lot of oil is introduced into the body through the skin, and this oil then burns these energetic blockages. Moreover, this burning occurs from the outside. First, energetic blockages in the physical body are removed, and then in the subtle energy body. And it's combined with laxative enemas, emetics, bloodletting, liquids are introduced into the nose, drawn out of the nose, and there is a cleansing of the entire body. One follows a very light diet throughout the treatment. It lasts about 21 days. A person loses a lot of weight during this time. One feels weak. Then when the treatment ends, one needs 2 more weeks without work to recover. One feels a severe weakness. It's difficult for the person to think and work. One just goes for walks, recovering. This is a very exhausting type of rejuvenation, but very effective. Now listen carefully what to do with these neck beads. A person has an outer and inner energy layer. You know that the planets of the solar system are connected with our body, with all organs and systems within. They provide subtle energy for human life. Each planet gives its own energy, but each person has only 2 planets. One of them is on the subtle level, and the other is on the physical level. There are 9 main planets in the solar system. 2 of them are on the subtle level, they are not visible, and 7 are on the physical level. I will now list them sequentially as they stand in relation to us, to our body. In the first place is the Sun, in the second the Moon, third Mars, fourth Mercury, fifth Jupiter, sixth Venus, seventh Saturn. Then there are 2 subtle planets. The 8th is Rahu, the subtle invisible planet. The 9th is Ketu, also an invisible planet. Rahu and Ketu are 2 planets. Each person has a stone in their neck beads, which represents one of these 2 planets. The one that influences Rahu, it's garnet or hessonite. It's a reddish, transparent stone. And Ketu is represented by cat's eye. It's a greenish, transparent stone. All of you have one of these 2 stones in your neck beads. Now look, when energy enters the inner layer, it's associated with health regulation, maintaining mental powers, improving intellect, mental abilities, developing character qualities, resilience, overcoming stress, and so on. This is the inner life force of a person. Each person has a planet, one of the physical planets, which is connected specifically with the inner layer, and there is one planet that is connected with the outer layer. We select a chain that regulates the activity of the inner energy layer, associated with the regulation of organs and systems, and the human psyche. These are the deepest functions of a person. And the second, one of the 2 planets for which we select a stone, provides protection from negativity and evil, which is also associated with the inner energy layer. So one stone has a protective function, and the other stone has a restorative function. When a person comes to me for a consultation, I test them and determine which of the planets acts on the inner energy layer and gives the person health. It can be any of the 7 planets, Sun, Moon, Mercury, any of the 7. Then I choose which of these 2 subtle planets is connected to the person, and then a very important moment occurs. I determine the person's number that is responsible for entering the inner energy layer. If we apply exactly this number of stones, then the energy goes inside the person. This is already a very deep mystical thing. And there are only 4 variants of numbers, 2, 4, 6, 8, 4 variants of personal numbers. For each of you who has neck beads, there's a card with numbers, 2, 4, or 6. This is your personal number. How to use this personal number? On this small card, for example, there's a number 2. If you've caught a cold, this means that you need to eat 2 white peppercorns several times a day, exactly 2. And if you apply bandages with white peppercorns, the bandages should be made this way. You take 2 peppercorns. This will have a mild effect on the body. You tie 2 peppercorns with duct tape. 12 peppercorns will have a strong effect on the body. 22 peppercorns will have the most powerful effect on the body. If you apply 32 peppercorns, this will be such an effect when your infection has already reached its peak, meaning the virus is already causing a high temperature and you're lying in bed. In this case, you need to use 32 peppercorns. 42 peppercorns should not be used without a doctor. This can cause severe stress. When you use these numbers, all the energy goes into the inner energy layer to regulate mental functions. It penetrates very deep into the body. If you, let's say, buy some amulet, wear it on your wrist, and your personal number is 4, then you will have 4 stones there. This will have the most powerful impact, the strongest impact on you. When we select a chain, we use 3 variants of numbers. There's a personal number 2 or 4. Let's say I choose 2. Remember that the number 1 is also suitable for any person. 1 means God. Number 1 is suitable for any person. And number 12 may also be suitable for this same person. So we have a choice of 3 options, 1, 2, 12, or 1, 4, 14. Let's say the number 1 suits 1 stone and 14 suits the other stone. Then we get this proportion, 1, 14, 1, 14, 1, 14, 1, 14, 1, 14. But the most amazing thing is that when we make a chain, we get a combination of 2 stones with these numbers, 1 and 14. This is 1 block, 1 link. Remember that the power of this effect lies in the fact that we also precisely select the number of links for you. If a person's number is 2, there can be 12 links, 22 links, 32 links, or 20, 30. My number, let's say, is 40. My number is 4. Mine ends with 0. It could have been 44. The number of links depends on the individually selected length, which is also very important. If everything is selected correctly, the person experiences lightness in the head, clarity, calmness, freshness, attention span is improved, and one gets protection from overload. They may not feel it immediately, but the next day, or in 2 days, they will notice that it has become easier to live, easier to endure difficulties, easier to sit through lectures, and so on. Raise your hand if you've noticed this. And who hasn't noticed anything after wearing the chains? When did you put them on? About 5 days ago. It's all working. You're just the type of person who finds it difficult to notice. When you are on the plane, when you fly home, put on the chain, and you'll see how much easier it is to endure the flight. There are people who are very strong, who have a lot of energy. It's difficult for them to notice. When Saturn strongly affects a person, it's hard for them to notice how the stones in the chain work. There are people whose Saturn is so weak that it's very difficult for them to apply this mystical formula with numbers, and then we choose for them only 1 stone, which simply acts on the inner energy layer and helps a person to be healthy without numbers. It's called a monochain. But there are people who can't tolerate any stones on their neck at all. In this case, they don't wear anything on their neck. They apply the stones on their fingers. But stones on fingers work differently. Stones on fingers have an impact specifically on mental functions. The index finger is associated with the following mental structures: a person's will, attention span. It is connected with all organs located in a straight line: nose, throat, stomach, reproductive organs, and so on. It is associated with a person's ability to overcome difficulties, to defeat one's fate. The middle finger is the backbone of the organism. It is connected with the spine and the head. We treat headaches through the middle finger. It is also connected with the joints and the skeletal system. It is connected to a person's stability, good work ability, attention span. Overcoming difficulties in the form of prolonged work gives a person stability in life, helps to overcome stress, and has an anti-stress effect. The ring finger is connected to the internal organs, fat metabolism, and metabolism in general. It is associated with responsibility, willpower, the ability to hold attention, and keeping subordinates in submission. It is also associated with parents, and it gives the ability to obey. It is connected with temperature regulation, blood pressure regulation, and regulation of blood condition in the body. It is responsible for a person's status in society. The little finger is associated with speech, skin, and hormonal functions. For example, in cases of infertility, we often apply a stone on a woman's little finger. It is connected with harmony with the surrounding world and a person's mood. Each finger carries something of its own. We experimentally determine where karma accumulates. In addition, we conduct a survey and fully inquire about all chronic diseases of a person. Through a survey and experimentally as well, we determine where karma has accumulated the most on the fingers. So we apply stones most often to 2 fingers, sometimes to 1 or 3 fingers. We cannot choose stones. Only 1 or maximum 2 stones are suitable for 1 finger. Rarely 2, mainly only 1 type of stone is suitable. We choose from each type of stone. We have about 50 options. We choose the one that best suits the person. If they lose this stone, we'll replace it, but it will be worse than the first one until we get a new supply of stones. No one else in the world works this way. We conducted the deepest research on this topic. We use about 60-70 types of stones for work. We have the largest collection of stones. No one has as many varieties of stones that are not heated, not subjected to thermal or other processing. They possess healing power. One person in India conducts long-term research finding new stones for me to work with. Every year we expand our capabilities. When we clear the stones through customs, they see these stones for the first time at the border and send them to the laboratory. That's why customs clearance takes longer. Each time they clear something they see for the first time. There are many new stones that have never been seen in our country before. This is what you get during the festival, by the way. These stones work for a lifetime except for pearls. Large pearls that we apply for you can work for about 5 years. After 5 years, it's better to change them, because pearls are artificially grown and frozen by artificial methods. Pearls solidify for several years. The Chinese can't wait several years to sell pearls. They need to freeze pearls faster using chemicals in order to sell them. Due to the artificial freezing, the duration of its use is reduced. We use 10-carat stones. We use stones from 8 to 12 carats because smaller stones do not penetrate a person's subtle energy body. They don't have enough power to be stronger than the human subtle energy body. Only 10-carat stones are stronger than the human subtle energy body. Starting from 3 carats, stones can enter into harmony with a person's subtle energy body, but only starting from 6 or 7 carats can they have a stronger effect on the subtle energy body.
What about river pearls that grew naturally?
River pearls have irregular shapes. Sea pearls are more round. There are neither river nor sea pearls. These are all just cultivated stones in China. There are whole plantations where pearls grow. It's all the same pearl, just one grew bigger, the other smaller. We need a microphone. Stones work both on fingers and at home. I was at a billionaire's home once, and he had many amethyst geodes. He looked at me skeptically, smiling, and said, "Well, does all this affect me? You heal with stones. I have many stones. Prove to me that it all works." I said, "Let me show you." We took a blood pressure monitor. I placed amethyst geodes that raised blood pressure behind him. In 5 minutes, his blood pressure jumped by 40 to 50 units. Then I placed the geodes that lowered blood pressure. After 5 to 10 minutes, his blood pressure dropped by 20 to 40 units. He said, "This must be hypnosis." I said, "Try it yourself later without me, and you'll see if it's hypnosis or not. Sit someone who's resistant to hypnosis next to you for assurance." No matter how skeptical a person is, strength and knowledge always overcome any skepticism. We've had people come to us who don't believe in this at all. Faith is not needed here. If we do everything correctly, when a person puts on the neck beads, their mind becomes clear. Resilience increases, mood improves, concentration increases, memory gets better, stress diminishes, headaches go away. All diseases related to the head, throat, immunity, nasal canals, thinking, even stuttering weaken. A person feels better. We are now starting to work with this. We'll see the result. It doesn't mean that everything can be cured with stones. You should know that stones can only heal those channels that have been blocked. I'll explain how they work. Stones possess fiery energy. They stimulate the channels. They don't cleanse them if channels are blocked. There was a case. A woman came for a consultation. She had high blood pressure. We applied stones for her. Her blood pressure decreased to a certain point. When we intensified the effect of the stones, the pressure decreased even more, but her diastolic pressure dropped so much that she became dizzy and couldn't live like that. This means that the subtle energy channels are blocked, and there's also atherosclerosis in the head. The blood vessels can't react. What happens? The stone stimulates the channel, but since there's an energetic blockage, the stimulation leads to even worse functioning. It's like a traffic jam. If traffic increases, the jam increases too. Similarly, the energy of the stone. It can act on a relatively healthy body. We first cleanse the energy channels using bark, and then we start using stones. Stones will work for a lifetime. It's a source of health for life. Some people say, Dr. Torsunov, why are you getting us hooked on stones for life? Remember, you can only get hooked on drugs. It's impossible to get a person hooked on a good wife, for example. A good wife always helps, even if the husband is dependent on her. It's impossible to get a person hooked on good food. Good blessed food always only helps. Even if a person can't live without it, it's not an addiction. It's impossible to get a person hooked on a good climate. If a person lives in a good place, it's not an addiction. They don't want to live in a bad place. It means they've created better living conditions for themselves. Similarly, stones on the neck and fingers are not an addiction. They provide better living conditions. This is the application of reason and the mercy of elders. Moreover, all the money we receive from this treatment goes to spiritual purposes. We don't enrich ourselves from this. It turns out that you make a contribution, you're giving money for good deeds, and you become healthy as well. When people bring me donations, I say, let's better choose neck beads for you. It will be more effective in all respects. We'll receive money. You'll receive much greater mercy from us.
How to calculate a personal number.
Calculate a personal number? You can't calculate a personal number. It's impossible. Only an experienced person can do this. If you have some sensitivity, take 2 white peppercorns and wear them when you have a viral infection. If you feel bad, take 4. If you feel bad, take 6. If you feel bad, take 8. In an hour or 2, you'll see that with 4 peppercorns, it's best. You'll feel better. The effect occurs unexpectedly, very quickly and strongly. It's simply through experimentation. There are only 4 options, 2, 4, 6, 8, that's all. There are also individual numbers. For those whose individual number is 2, 3 is also their individual number. But the number 3 is meant for a person's victory. My individual number is 5, because I have 4. 5 is also my number. But you can't make 5 on the beads because it will cause tension. This is the number of victory. When a person goes on the attack, they can use number 5. When they're just living, they need feminine energy in life, not masculine. For victory, you need short-term masculine energy. For life, you need feminine energy. Neck beads should be worn only during the day. These are stimulating neck beads. They should be worn only during the day. Even the beads with a single stone, only during the day. They should always be removed at night. At night, the body receives power from the moon, and it needs peace. Sometimes we leave stones on the little finger and middle finger for the night, for those who have insomnia. These 2 fingers are associated with sleep. These are feminine fingers, the little finger and the middle finger. When we put the stones on the right hand, it gives strength to a person and activates them. The right side is masculine. When we apply them on the left hand, we relax and cool down the body. We heat up, tone up the body on the right side. We cool down, relax, and calm down the body on the left side. This is individual. We use the stones according to the person's needs. We don't impose anything on the body. We choose what suits it. Nothing changes for the whole life. These neck beads are forever, if you don't break them. The stones are very sensitive and fragile. If you drop the neck beads once on a tiled floor, and some stone gets lost, the effectiveness of the beads immediately decreases by 30 to 40%. If you've lost stones, you can write to us and we'll send you fishing line, stones, and all fastening materials by mail. You can assemble the beads yourself and restore them. When you get home, count the number of links. Record all this, how many stones are in each link. If you've recounted and there are fewer stones, just get stones by mail and insert them. It's all very simple.
Audience, please tell how to deal with those stones that we buy in a store, for example, or those that are inherited.
It's very simple for a woman to figure this out. If she puts it on and feels bad, she puts it on, presses on this stone, and after 5 minutes heaviness in the head occurs, then don't wear it, or wear it on a different part of the body. You can wear it on another part of the body, press on it. If heaviness doesn't occur, then wear it. But if you just put it on and wear it, you won't understand that it's the stone that made you feel bad. A stone that a woman likes is likely suitable for her, but it's suitable for the outer energy layer. She chooses it for beauty, not for health. Often the neck beads we make are just calm. They're not very beautiful, they're just calm. To use it for beauty, this is an external effect. They act on the skin, on the smile, on the woman's influence. When a woman loves stones and puts them on, she becomes influential. She uses this for external influence. But it can cause tension in the psyche and in life. But when a person does something internally, it gives a very calm sensation. When a girl marries her true husband, she feels calm with him. But people can't calmly get married now because they want to enjoy relationships. They want true love. And this frenzy, this so-called true love, it's an external influence, not an internal one. Therefore, people forget that there is an internal influence. Internal influence means calmness, harmony, purity. To get married like this, you don't need to expose your body. The body is exposed for external influence. But internal influence is achieved through chastity, internal purity, fasting. Write carefully, study. Remember, dry fasting is intended for spiritual practice. Dry fasting is meant to overcome fate. During dry fasting, a person's karma is burned, especially if they also include prayer. Dry fasting is for those who are healthy, strong, and also have spiritual strength. Dry fasting is intended for people experienced in spiritual life. Dry fasting is not a treatment, it's a spiritual life. But dry fasting rejuvenates a person when done correctly. Dry fasting implies that a person does not experience hunger during the fasting. If a person experiences hunger and they are performing dry fasting, it means they are destroying their health. In order not to experience hunger, one needs to think very intensively about God during this time, being engaged in spiritual practice. When a person is very much engaged in spiritual service and observes dry fasting, they experience great happiness at this time, and this fasting defeats fate, burns karma. If a person experiences hunger, confusion, and dissatisfaction, their karma accumulates. It comes out and accumulates in the subtle physical body. After such fasting, exacerbations of diseases begin. I don't recommend dry fasting to everyone, only to spiritually strong people. The next type of fasting is water fasting. When you're doing water fasting, you should always drink when you want to, as much as you want. Not more. Don't force water into yourself. This is wrong. In general, you should never force water into yourself in life. Drink when you want and as much as you want. There are people who don't want to drink at all or want to drink little. You just need to drink periodically, but don't drink more than you want, no more than your body can assimilate. There are people who constantly want to drink a lot because they are hot, fiery. Such people need to drink, but in small amounts. Don't overdrink. A sign that you overdrink is that you get up to go to the bathroom more than once at night. Once is normal. If it's more than once, it means you're depleting your body. It wears out in this case. Water fasting is intended for cleansing the body. Water fasting improves metabolism, eliminates toxins from the body, and cleanses subtle energy channels. This is precisely the fasting that rejuvenates. Water fasting rejuvenates. Dry fasting also rejuvenates, but it's a difficult fasting for many people, while water fasting cleanses and rejuvenates. How to do water fasting? In the evening, you need to eat as light food as possible. Then do fasting all day and only start eating the next morning. You can also drink water at night. If you're hot, it means you need to drink water at night, during nighttime. It's better to break the fasting with very light products that you digest best. Off the top of my head, these are products in pure goodness. Most often, these are products in pure goodness. These are bananas, avocados, coconut, apples, spinach, lettuce leaves, dates, light, pure products. I'm listing the lightest, the easiest to digest products on earth. You're learning about them now. Who else can add? What other light products are there? Sesame, but you won't get full on sesame. You can add it. Sesame is light, but you won't get full on it. It's pointless to break a fast with it. Buckwheat, that's heavier.
What about milk?
Milk is not a light product. It's pure but difficult to digest. All dairy products are not light. Cucumbers? You can break a fast with cucumbers. It's a light product. Honey is a light product. You can eat or drink honey when breaking a fast. Dried apricots, you can break a fast with them. Stewed cabbage is not a light product. Water with honey should only be warm or hot. If you drink cold water with honey, it's an incompatible mixture. It will stop digestion. And it's best to eat honey while drinking water. Regarding salt and lemon juice, you should know that salt is not suitable for many people. There are different types of salt. There's black salt, sea salt, and regular table salt. They are all different and have different effects. You need to choose your own salt. Lemon is also not suitable for everyone. For me, for example, lemon is not suitable. If I break my fast with lemon, I will feel unwell. There are different sour products. There's tamarind, for instance. If you drink it with water, it gives a sour taste. There's kefir, lemon, prunes, plums, and some sour berries. It's different for everyone. Lemon is not for general use. It's a product that doesn't suit everyone. Our experience shows that it works for some people, but not for all. And it's not necessary to break the fast with a sour, salty taste. You can break it with a sweet taste. Sweet taste is the most natural and harmonious. It has the mildest effect on the body. Sour taste means cleansing, so you break the fast in order to cleanse the body. There are 3 tastes that affect the intestines, and only 3 tastes exist in the intestines. The first taste is sweet, which calms the intestines and reduces inflammation. The second taste is sour, which tones the intestines and stimulates the release of toxins from the body. And the third taste is spicy, which activates absorption in the intestines and also causes inflammatory processes in it. Sour taste is needed if you want to remove toxins from the body after fasting, but if everything is fine with you, you can start with a sweet taste. You can mix warm water with lemon and sugar. There are no restrictions. It's fine.
What about milk with dates?
Milk is not a light product. Remember this. It's a heavy product. You can't break a fast with it.
It's very difficult for me mentally to practice fasting.
If it's mentally difficult for you, then you shouldn't practice fasting. You should choose a type of fasting that isn't mentally difficult for you. Let's move on. So, eliminating toxins and salts from the body is done through water fasting. For rejuvenating the body, the simplest and easiest fasting that doesn't require too much education is water fasting. Now let's add information about fasting days to our discussion of water fasting. Sunday fasting is for a person who is not well adjusted in society, lacks responsibility in life, who is a bad husband, or a woman who can't stand men, can practice fasting on Sunday. Sunday is a day of responsibility, a day of inner strength, a day of vows, a day of overcoming one's character. Fasting on Sunday is intended to overcome one's character and increase one's status in life. Fasting on Sunday treats the skeletal system, blood, eyes, and blood pressure. This is related to the sun, the influence of the planet sun. After Sunday, the next fasting day is Monday, which is connected with the moon. It's associated with sleep disorders, mental tension, memory problems, hormonal dysfunction, calming, and improving character. Fasting on Monday is intended for treating headaches, mental illnesses, and depression. Fasting on Tuesday is associated with the planet Mars. It treats digestive organs, stomach, intestines, liver, and pancreas. It's associated with strengthening willpower, increasing a person's life energy, ability to win, and overcoming seemingly insurmountable life difficulties. It's also associated with treating the muscular system, treating the male reproductive system, treating male infertility, and getting rid of anger and violence towards others or violence directed at you. Fasting on Wednesday is associated with Mercury. It's intended for improving speech, harmony with the surrounding world, improving hormonal functions, treating dysfunctions of internal organs such as arrhythmia and dysfunctions of bile ducts. For treating hormonal organs such as the thyroid gland, pancreas, and adrenal glands. Fasting on Wednesday is intended to improve thinking, logic, to relieve tension from activities such as business, accounting, management, and to improve relationships. Fasting on Thursday is associated with the planet Jupiter and is intended for stabilizing spiritual life, strengthening faith, improving immunity, treating mental illnesses, overcoming depression, and increasing optimism in life. To treat the liver, to treat the immune system, fatty tissue, to strengthen one's faith, determination on the spiritual path, improve relationships with spiritual teachers, mentors, and it also brings luck in life. Fasting on Friday is associated with Venus. It's intended for strengthening overall health, increasing happiness in life, treating skin, treating kidneys, treating female infertility, and also for treating excess weight. To increase kindness and tenderness in character, to increase femininity in women and calmness in men. Fasting on Friday enhances thyroid treatment. Fasting on Saturday is associated with Saturn. Fasting on Friday is associated with Venus. Fasting on Saturday is associated with Saturn and is designed to overcome insurmountable difficulties, to avoid imprisonment and everything related to a hard life, hunger, poverty, and incurable diseases. Treatment on Saturday intensifies the treatment of the nervous system, mental illnesses, treatment of the spine, joints, intestines, treatment of any life difficulties, development of patience. There are also fastings on religious holidays. They are designed to strengthen faith and connection with God, to overcome one's fate. And there are fastings on the 11th day of the waxing moon and on the 11th day of the waning moon. There are 14 lunar days in total, 14 days of waxing moon and 14 days of waning moon. The fasting should be observed on the 11th lunar day every 2 weeks. Ika means 1, Dashi means 10. Altogether means 11. Ekadashi means the 11th day. During this fasting on the 11th lunar day, a unique phenomenon occurs in space. All sins come to the surface. This day is also called Hari's Day. Hari is the name of the Lord, which means connection with God. It means faith. This is the day of faith, or the day of connection with God. On this day, all sins come to the surface and they enter the mind, as well as products related to mental activity. Grains and legumes are most associated with mental activity, so sins enter these products on this day. It's better not to eat these products on this day because sins will be consumed along with these products. Therefore, on Ekadashi, people practice either complete fasting without water or choose any type of fasting suitable for them, but never eat grain, and especially meat food, which is not even mentioned in the list of forbidden products. Because according to the Vedas, for normal people, meat is not considered food. It's just a concession for sensual enjoyment in our life. It doesn't give health or happiness. Modern scientists have also understood that meat is not healthy food. It doesn't bring health to a person, and all scientists and modern nutritionists say that we should eat less meat. All nutritionists unanimously say this, but ignorant general practitioners who are in clinics say what was relevant 50 years ago when they studied at medical college. They still say you need to eat more meat, and thus torment people, causing harm. I don't mean that all general practitioners are ignorant. That would mean I'm ignorant too, because I'm a general practitioner. It's difficult to consider oneself ignorant. But there are people who don't study modern research. All modern nutritionists in the world think so. When I was writing my dissertation, I studied this seriously. There's even a study that shows that milk at night is very beneficial. It's best to drink it in the evening, about an hour or two before sleep. But if digestion is strong, you can drink it right before going to bed. I drink it right before sleep. Everything is digested perfectly. I have a good sleep. I have strong digestion, but some people won't digest it if they drink it right before sleep. There is a hormone in milk called melatonin. It calms the psyche. It improves thinking. That means it relieves stress, harmonizes body functions, and therefore scientists consider milk beneficial. I think it's much deeper than that. So, let's move forward regarding the topic of fasting. Fasting on Ekadashi is designed for cleansing consciousness, overcoming difficulties, for spiritual practice, and strengthening faith. This is the day of the Lord. The 11th day of the waxing and waning moon is the day of the Lord in Vedic culture. But this doesn't negate the fact that any serious spiritual holiday you believe in is also the day of the Lord. For example, if you have a connection with Seraphim of Sarov, the birthday of Seraphim of Sarov should be the day of fasting for you. This is a day of fasting for you. Fasting is the best offering to a holy person. When you practice fasting on their birthday, you thus make the biggest offering to them in the form of asceticism practice that you perform. If, for example, you believe in Jesus Christ, the day Jesus resurrected, this should be your day for fasting. If you believe in Prophet Muhammad, the day Prophet Muhammad was born, this is your fasting day. So let's move forward. The next fasting is a fasting on sour berries, such as cranberries, lingonberries, red currants, cherries, and so on. Fasting on sour berries is designed to cleanse the body of toxins and eliminate problems associated with carbohydrate metabolism disorders in the body. This includes excess weight and various metabolic disorders as well. This way, we treat metabolic disorders, cleanse the body of toxins. We should practice fasting on berries in summer because berries cool the body significantly, and fasting on berries in winter can lead to illnesses, to hypothermia. So practice fasting on berries in summer, sunbathe during the berry fasting, and swim in the sea. That means fasting on berries is designed for rest, swimming, sunbathing, and treatment at the same time.
Is raspberry also a sour berry?
We're killing 2 vegetarian birds with 1 stone. Raspberry is also a sour berry, but it has slightly different purposes. I'll talk about it now. Berries such as raspberries, gooseberries have a sweeter taste. What other sweet berries do we have? Strawberries. Sweet cherries might be more sour than sweet. Blueberries, blackcurrants.
Next, watermelon.
Watermelon is not a berry, it's a watermelon. Watermelon is a berry, but for us it's not a berry, it's a watermelon. Just like a wife is not a woman, she's a wife.
Plum.
Plum? Yes, but prunes are sweet berries, plums are sour berries. Fasting on sweet berries is designed to overcome depression, improve character, improve hormonal functions. It's intended for getting out of difficult mental situations in life. Fasting on sweet berries is designed to improve attractiveness in women and optimism in men. Fasting on sour berries draws energy downward, increasing diuresis, increasing defecation, and increasing sweating. The energy goes down. And fasting on sweet berries raises energy upwards, increases spiritual strength, increases optimism, improves a person's character, makes them more active and cheerful. Women become more attractive. They are filled with optimism, faith, joy, and beauty. If women's beauty is in their appearance, men's beauty is in their joy. If a man is not joyful, he is not handsome. Women should have beautiful cheeks and lips, and men should be in a good mood. This good mood is masculine energy. How many berries to eat? It's very simple, as much as you want. And drink water too, as much as you want. Fasting on berries doesn't mean without drinking water. Water is also allowed, but nothing else should be eaten during this fasting. If you don't want a revolution in your intestines with thunder, it's a terrible thing. Eat only 1 type of berries, don't combine 2 types of berries. You can make berry juice, mash them, or use a special machine that grinds them with the skin, and you can drink the juice. You can simply eat them. When you just eat them, you get more strength. When you drink juice, you can consume more berries. They influence more on metabolism rather than on the psyche. Sea buckthorn is a sweet berry. Sea buckthorn is allowed. How often? You can constantly eat berries during the fasting. Sit and eat, walk and eat very frequently, even continuously. During 1 day. All types of fasting are meant for 1 day. We start in the morning, finish in the evening. You can do fasting twice a week until you get tired of it. Just some cleansing fasting rather than water fasting. You can change the day, or you can observe it on specific days. Fasting on fruits is designed to strengthen the psyche. It's like sweet berries, but while berries always affect metabolism, fruits have more effect on the psyche rather than on the body. Fruits significantly raise energy upwards because everything related to trees has great power. Fruits significantly raise energy upwards, and they greatly increase cheerfulness, workability, the ability to overcome difficulties. They increase mental activity. They help overcome depression. So they influence the psyche more. If berries heal the body, fruits heal the psyche mostly. They also heal the body, but mainly the psyche. If you want to overcome difficulties in life, to have more joy in life, you need to practice fasting on fruits. Again, choose 1 fruit, one that you like. Liking means a connection with the mind, not with the body. Sometimes a person likes something, but the body suffers from it. This means that the person needs this product for the mind. But when it comes to fruits, these are products of pure goodness, so in this case it will be beneficial for both your mind and your health if you fast on this product. Fasting on fruits is designed to improve character. If you want to work on your character, fast on fruits. Next, fasting on 1 type of vegetable. Vegetables are divided into 3 categories. The first is vegetables that grow above the ground. Fasting on vegetables that grow above the ground, like zucchini, pumpkin, patty pan squash, cabbage, is designed to treat the nervous system and to cool the body. When a person is very hot, they cool down with the help of vegetables that grow above the ground. These vegetables are meant for treating protein metabolism, for treating neuritis, any diseases related to the nervous system, for calming the psyche. When a person is overexcited, they calm down with the help of fasting on vegetables that grow above the ground. So vegetables that grow above the ground improve digestion overall. They cleanse the digestive organs from toxins and restore the entire digestive system. Fasting on vegetables that grow above the ground is designed to restore vitality, especially after a difficult trip to southern regions. When a person feels weak after arrival, they can practice fasting on vegetables that grow above the ground. Like cucumbers, specifically cucumbers. Regarding tomatoes, remember, all nightshade vegetables are not products for fasting. These are products for sensual pleasures, and they don't give much health. What belongs to nightshades? Tomatoes, potatoes, eggplants, bell peppers. These are 4 types of products that activate human senses and improve mood. They are good to improve mood, but they don't heal a person. These are not medicinal products. You shouldn't practice fasting on them. They activate the senses, sensual activity. It's good for actors to eat tomatoes, eggplants, to have calm feelings. Peppers excite feelings. These products are needed for the activity of feelings, to engage your consciousness. It's also good to eat them at the festival to make people's feelings more active. Fasting on vegetables that grow underground, beets, carrots, radish. But be careful with radish and small radishes. It's actually very dangerous. It's better to stick to beets. Turnips are also dangerous. Beets and carrots are suitable for fasting. You should not fast on potatoes, Jerusalem artichokes, or celery. Only carrots and beets. That's all, no other roots. Roots are a dangerous thing. If you eat only parsnips, you might have problems by the end of the day. That's it. Only 2 products are suitable for fasting, beets and carrots. Roots are designed to activate hormonal functions and to overcome infertility. Such fastings are intended to treat infertility. When a person eats roots, their energy goes down and stimulates the fire in the lower psychic centers. Fastings on these products are designed to treat kidneys, treat the genitourinary system, and to treat the intestines. Energy goes down, and it's like igniting a small fire there. That means healing begins, healing power increases. I allow mixing beets with carrots during the fasting, choosing proportions that you like, and you can drink vegetable juices. It's not necessary to eat only fiber. If you eat more fiber, it treats the intestines. If you drink juices, the treatment of the psyche and blood occurs. Only when the vegetables are raw.
At any time?
Day and night, all year round. Do you understand what fasting on vegetables is for? It removes fat from the body. Vegetables that grow underground affect metabolism, treat fatty tissue, and help us lose weight as well. These fastings provide an opportunity to lose weight. It enhances cleansing from fat, treating joints, getting rid of excess weight. By the way, joints and spine are also treated with vegetables that grow above ground, but in a different way. It means vegetables above ground provide an anti-inflammatory treatment. When salts accumulate in the joints, fat throughout the body, then we should do fasting on root vegetables, which are in a pure goodness and act gently on the body. But in general, all root vegetables have quite a harsh effect on the body, so be careful during such fasting. There may be some overloads. If you're feeling overloaded, dilute with more water whatever you're going to use and let it settle longer. Juices are better. They act more gently than fresh carrots or beets. If you chew carrots or beets, the effect is harder to tolerate. The next type of fasting is fasting on greens. Greens are spinach, lettuce leaves. But there are greens that are difficult to digest, and there are those that are easy. The mildest, most harmless types of greens that you can fast on are lettuce leaves, Chinese cabbage, spinach. While parsley, dill, celery, these greens are more difficult to assimilate. Try mixing them. You can mix greens in proportions you like. By the way, about fasting on vegetables that grow above ground, I haven't mentioned cucumbers yet. Cucumbers are a special product. They cool the body significantly and treat allergies. Fasting on cucumbers treats allergic diseases and excessive fire in the body. It's a special product which is important for our life. For those who have a lot of fire in the body and those who have allergies. You can use all other types of greens for your fasting, but don't fast on them alone. They will overload you. It will be difficult. Fasting on greens is designed to improve metabolism in general, treat the body's rhythm, restore the rhythm of the intestines, heart, pancreas, gallbladder, and so on. Everything that has a rhythm is treated with greens. Greens treat thinking, improve memory, improve speech, generally restore metabolism, improve digestion, and rid the body of toxins. And at the cellular level, it also treats cells. Greens strongly affect cellular metabolism. The next type of fasting is fasting on watermelons and melons. It is designed to treat water metabolism, treat the nervous system, treat the kidneys, wash salts out of the body, and cool the body. Fasting on melon and watermelon is also good when you're in the sun by the sea. That means it's good to combine swimming, sun, watermelon, and melon, but do not mix watermelon and melon. You can't eat watermelon and melon together because an irreparable thing might happen. You'll be suffering from a stomach upset. To learn more on the subject of health and healing of the body, Please make sure to read my health guide, available for download on my YouTube channel or on my Instagram page. Thank you very much, and see you soon.